Why China Still Believes in the Power of Rote Memorization. Thomas Hale. Published, July 13, 2026. More than simply a building, Yueyang Tower in China's Hunan province is remembered for a text. The memorial to Yueyang Tower, drafted by Song dynasty scholar and official Fan Zhongyan in the 11th century, is a reflection on the art of governance. A mainstay of the curriculum for Chinese middle schoolers, it is best known for the line, "Worry before the rest of the world worries, be joyous only after the rest of the world knows joy." As I discovered on visiting the tower last winter, it is difficult to overestimate how seriously such texts are taken in China, even accounting for the intensity of the country's education system. Within the fort itself, a large group of early primary school-aged students were in the middle of reciting the entire essay. At the front a teacher, waving her arms like a conductor, led them as they chanted their way, cheerfully and uncomprehendingly, through all 368 syllables. Such a scene would come as little surprise to many who grew up in China. Throughout decades of political, economic and technological transformation, an ancient embrace of rote memorization has persisted. The guidelines to the Gaokao, an exam for 18-year-olds and the world's largest standardized test, describe memorization as the most basic level of ability, placing it first among 6 traits that include comprehension, analysis and synthesis, appreciation and evaluation, expression and application, and inquiry. At the simplest level, the Chinese script itself, which operates at the level of the syllable and involves thousands of individually meaningful characters, requires years of memorization. But after a rejection of tradition culminating in Chairman Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution in the 1960s and 1970s, there is also a strong emphasis in education on specific ancient texts, especially poems. Various tourist attractions in China will offer free entry for visitors who can recite classical texts. Examples include the Confucian Analects at sites in Shandong Province, the home of Confucius, and the Yellow Crane Tower in the city of Wuhan, where children under 15 who recite 3 poems related to the tower have been offered not 1 but 2 free tickets, according to local media. It is hard not to draw a contrast with the English language West, where rote memorization has taken on a faintly pejorative meaning. More than a century and a half ago, at the height of Britain's industrial age, Charles Dickens was skewering the "facts alone are wanted in life" approach of fictional educator Gradgrind in the novel Hard Times. But the pressures on students in China's urban education system provide an obvious incentive to learn material by heart as thoroughly as possible. Exams are taken so seriously that nearby roads are often cordoned off by police. They must also be taken with a pen and paper, otherwise endanger technologies in a world of AI. This year, students sitting the Gaokao reportedly had their glasses inspected, to make sure they were not smart glasses, while the venues have for years blocked signal reception. The need to test memorization can be understood in the context of a strictly hierarchical political system in which repetition of speech and ideas is commonplace. But a visitor to cities such as Yueyang might wonder if there is something more to China's collective emphasis on recall. In the main textbook series for middle school students, the excerpt introducing the memorial to Yueyang Tower essay refers to the tower being rebuilt before the essay's drafting, centuries after its origins. The current iteration was rebuilt in the 19th century Qing dynasty, but even this version was in turn rebuilt in 1983. Such reconstructions apply to almost all historical sites in China, after the Cultural Revolution in which many of them, especially temples, were destroyed. By contrast, the 368 characters of the memorial to Yueyang are unchanged. Even the most famous short extract is difficult to deliver without sufficient repetitions. But the lines take on a different tone with time. If you hear them said by someone whose school days are long behind them, and you listen closely enough, you can almost hear the intervening decades rushing by. Thomas.Hale@f.com. Books and video resources. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, and share to support the channel. Don't forget to check out our contributor bonuses, the full ebook, and our exclusive offers in the description below. See you in the next lesson.